Hey guys, how y'all doing? The Weirdable here, playing me some Titanfall 2. This is the tech test demo, which came out, about maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, not really sure. But yeah, this is some gameplay from that. This isn't actually the focus of this video, although enjoy the gameplay because, it's actually a really good game and pretty enjoyable to watch, I think. And I had a lot of fun playing it. I think it's a huge improvement on the first game, because I did play that. And I thought that was okay. I really didn't like the fact that there were so many bots running about in it, like NPC, sort of computer-controlled characters running about. But on this, it seemed to be a lot more player-on-player, like PvP versus. It seemed to be that much more orientated towards that side of things, which is great. And I think it's a very cool game. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it yet, seeing as there's other things like Call of Duty coming out. But yeah, great game. Anyway, enjoy that in the background, as the main focus of this video is going to be on PlayStation VR, which, as you may or may not know, it's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out on October 13th. Well, in the UK anyway, it's coming out October 13th. And like up until about a month ago, I wasn't really that excited for it, and I can't really tell you why. I've always thought these kind of things, along with kind of like PlayStation, I sort of put them in the same category as like PlayStation Move and PlayStation iToy thing. I always think it's a bit of a fad and a bit of a gimmick almost. I don't really think there's much substance to them, and the games are always a bit of a letdown. And yeah, so I wasn't really excited about it. But for some reason, and I can't tell you why, I'm just super excited for PlayStation VR. I mean, virtual reality in general, I think, is a fantastic idea. And up until quite recently, the technology has been there, but it hasn't been affordable to put it in a box and sell it to people. I mean, they could have done, but it would have been hugely expensive. But now, modern day computers, our consoles have the hardware installed to be able to play virtual reality, which is amazing. So for the first time, we can actually get a proper sense of virtual reality. And we're talking, 360, 100 degree field of view, or so they say on the specs. I think they say it's up like 100 degree field of view, which I'm not really sure what that means. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be amazing that you can just sit there and you can twizzle and you can look around and just become, completely immersed in these virtual worlds, which is great. And I really, really hope that it's not a gimmick. I really hope that it's here to stay. And, like all these things, like PlayStation Move, and I want to call it iToy, but I think it's like PlayStation Eye or something. I don't know. Anyway, the thing that let those sort of products down, in my opinion, was the games. I thought the games let them down. Like, it was only for a couple of months, maybe even a year, or however long. It didn't seem like long. They were producing some games for them, but then slowly developers just stopped selling games for them, or like creating games for them. Sorry, which was such a shame, because why create something like the PlayStation Move? I felt like, in my opinion, had some great sort of features to it, and it wasn't utilized enough. But hopefully now with the PlayStation VR, I know some games are enabled with the PlayStation Move, which is great. Again, so hopefully these things can be, reborn, so to say, and we'll be able to get some games with proper functionality that allows us to move our hands, and which I actually think it's the HTC Vive. I think it's called the Vive. That has the little controller, flappy paddle thingamybobs in your hands, and you can wave them about and shoot people and things. So I really think that PlayStation does need something like that. However, I'm not a huge fan of those sort of things. I would much prefer to stick with my DualShock and just play things like that. But we're gonna have to wait and see. It completely depends on the games and what they offer in terms of gameplay mechanics and movement and all those kind of things. So we're just gonna have to wait and see on that side. Now, I haven't done much research on the other virtual reality headsets, like your HTC Vive, which I mentioned earlier, and your Oculus Rifts and all that kind of stuff. I haven't done much research on that, so I don't know what games are going to be coming out on those. And obviously, they're quite they're completely PC orientated. So I've really been just looking at the PlayStation VR, and because in my opinion, it's one of the cheapest, and I've already got a console, I've already got the hardware that can play it, and I can set it up really easily, and it's good to go. There's no messing about. From what I've seen with the HTC Vive, there's a whole lot of other setting up that quite a technical bit of setup you have to do for it, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. But the PlayStation VR, it just looks very simple. You do have to buy the PlayStation camera for it, which I would have never have done unless something like this required it. So, which is fair enough. I kind of feel it's a bit cheeky that they're not including it in the box. I'm kind of hoping maybe for Christmas, if they haven't shifted enough units, maybe they'll just throw in the PlayStation camera into the box. I do see a problem occurring there where parents are going to buy this PlayStation VR for their kids. The kids open it up and then they suddenly realise, Christmas Day or whenever it is, that you actually need the camera for it, which would suck so bad. And I know this because, everyone's parents, if they're not into gaming, they're a bit sort of, they go into the shop, they ask for, my son wants, the PlayStation VR, do you have it? And they'll be like, yeah, sure. But, 9 times out of 10, they might not be that helpful, they might not be that aware. Anyway, my point is that might be one problem, but it doesn't bother me that much because I'll just buy it as well and it'll be all great. But anyway, going back to the games, Sony have announced that there's going to be up to 50 games by the end of the year. Now, I wasn't sure if that was 2016 or 2017 end of the year. Maybe 2017, but if it is 2016, which I'm very doubtful, 50 games, either way, it's a very good start. And that's very encouraging. I just really hope that continues. Now, from the collection of games that Sony have announced, I do have to admit that some of them do look a little bit gimmicky, which is very unfortunate, but I'm kind of looking at the Batman VR game and the sort of, as much as I love Batman and both Star Wars, there's a Star Wars sort of VR trench run game coming out that it's so gimmicky. I mean, guys, come on, you could do so much better than that with a VR headset. But they do look at both a little bit gimmicky. Now, to me, what does gimmicky mean to me? Gimmicky means, it looks good at a demo room. It looks good at an exhibition where you're only going to try these things for 10 minutes tops, and people try it and they think, oh gosh, that looks so good. That game is amazing. And it's like, well, if you actually own it, and most console owners and gamers, well, sorry, I'm excluding PC people there, but every gamer plays their games on whatever machine they play them on for hours and hours. I don't want to just have a one-hit wonder game where I play it for 20 minutes and think, oh, that was cool, was that it? I just spent 40 quid on that game. I mean, to me that's rubbish, and that's not where VR should be going. The people who are going to be buying those games are going to be, the suckers and the people who got mugged off by, Game or GameStop or wherever you buy your games from. I think those kind of people are going to get affected by that, which is a real shame, really. But Sony are a business and they got to make money somehow. So whatever if it means we get good games, then that's fine by me. Talking about, I'm actually in a mech suit here, which is pretty ironic. Well, not ironic, but seeing as we are playing Titanfall. Anyway, I don't know. My point is that one game that I am looking forward to is Rigs. It's this sort of multiplayer shooter game, first-person shooter game, where you're in big robots and you're in this arena and you get to fly about and shoot other people in the face, and that does look really fun. That, to me, is the right direction that PlayStation VR should be going. I think they should get off this on-rails shooter or this on-rails story malarkey crap, because I think it's rubbish. I never liked on-rails experiences. If you guys don't know what on-rails means, I basically mean where you're in a fixed position and it's kind of like a roller coaster where you're literally on rails. The camera is driving you towards an objective. You can't move away from that. You can maybe steer and turn and look at things and shoot things, but to me that's very much a step backwards, and it's rubbish in my opinion. I don't think we should be going towards that direction, and I think it's awful. We've digressed, that's going backwards. We've tried so hard for years to make games open world, and if anything, we went too much into that in every single game since 2014 seems to be this open world game. I'm looking at MGS Phantom Pain. Why was that open world? Anyway, I digress. They seem to be going backwards, which is silly. I mean, why do that? So yeah, I think Rigs looks great. Another game which I actually do think it's had a bit of flack and a bit of a mixed reviews on it, but the new Resident Evil. Now I know it's not like classic Resident Evil at all, and I'm quite a big fan of Resident Evil games. You know, I did quite recently. You know, and on my channel I've played the very first Resident Evil. It was like the remastered one, which I never actually got to when it first came out, but I downloaded the remastered one and played that, and my god, it's a hard game. And pretty scary actually for what it is. But yeah, so this Resident Evil, if you haven't seen it, go watch the trailer. Just type in Resident Evil Biohazard, I believe is its name, and I played the demo of it. That's actually also on my channel, but the that game was terrifying, and I would honestly be scared to actually play it with a virtual reality headset, and I think I might just buy it just for that reason, because it's not often you actually get scared, you know, like properly scared, and the fact that it's virtual reality means you can't close. If you close your eyes and open them again, you're still in the room, you know, you're still in the room with the scary monster outside, you know, so it's going to be terrifying, and I really hope that they embrace the horror of virtual reality, and I hope they make some terrifying games. But in my honest opinion, I think the way virtual reality should go, and the way that they're going to be able to sway people to, you know, to come and buy this product is if they enable the games that you already have. You know, whether it's a patch, obviously they'd have to talk to developers, and it'd probably be a pretty lengthy thing, but if it became more in demand, basically what I'm trying to say is I really want to be able to play the games that I own now on my VR headset. Now, I'm not asking for complete 360 degree vision. I just want to be able to put in Call of Duty, for example, or Battlefield. Can you imagine Battlefield 1 with your VR headset on? I want to be able to play Battlefield 1. I want to be able to slightly look to the left, slightly look to the right. You know, I want to have a better field of vision. I'm not talking about, I don't want to be able to spin right round and look what's behind me, you know. I just want to be able to have a little bit more vision. And if they can do that via a patch, or I'm pretty sure on PC you could most likely be able to do some kind of mod or extension or whatever. I know someone did that for No Man's Sky. That's another game actually which I think was basically meant for VR, and I think they, you know, maybe in the next year or so, that's going to be a huge, you know, thing that they're going to announce, that No Man's Sky is going to be on VR. Watch that space, you heard it here. But yeah, I want to be able to play the games that I have now on my virtual reality headset, because chances are the screen that you get with the VR, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be better than some people's TVs, you know. At the moment I actually need to get a new TV, so it's kind of, you know, it's kind of had its day, should we say. But it's kind of off-putting for some people, you know, because you don't want to spend the money on buying the TV, and it's kind of gets a bit. I want to be able to just, you know, I don't even want to be able to have a TV. I just want to have my VR headset. I want to play any game I want on my VR headset, and I want that to be the thing that I use, because I want the display. I know the display is going to be great on it, so you know, that's the thing that I want, and I think that is the key to getting a lot more people to buy the VR, like buy into this whole idea of VR. And it, you know, as I said, it's not going to be complete VR, but it's just going to be the next step in display for your games, you know. But anyway, that's just some of my opinions on the VR. I think overall, I think it looks fantastic, and I think it has so much potential to be a great thing, and something that, you know, impacts not just gaming life, but life in general. Like there's pieces of technology that come out. I'm not comparing it to the, well, yeah. Do you know what I am? I'm going to compare it to like the iPhone or the iPad. I think it's going to be very revolutionary. Okay. And you're going to see it in so much more things other than gaming. You know, you're going to see things pop up like come watch your film in VR and stuff like that. You're going to see everything like that. It's going to change the world and the future of tech, to be honest with you, and I think it's fantastic. So I definitely want to buy it. I'm not sure if I can record some gameplay of games. I'm hoping I can. I presume the capture card on the PS4 is going to work with VR. I don't know. Hopefully it does. If it does, and when it does, I'm hopefully going to be able to show you some gameplay. But anyway, guys, if you have been watching till this far, thank you very much. Please leave me a like if you like it. If you don't, give me a dislike. Whatever, it's your choice. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.